On today's episode, we will talk about one of the most popular Rolex model, which is the GMT Master. The Rolex GMT Master has always been a popular watch since its debut in 1954. Many people nowadays called it Rolex Pepsi. Whenever someone talked about Rolex Pepsi, the watch they are referring to is really the Rolex GMT Master. In this video, we want to see what makes this watch truly special. The first ever Rolex GMT Master watch uses two colors for its bezel, blue and red. The red color denotes the daytime and the blue denotes the nighttime. The first Rolex GMT Master bezel uses the bakelite material. A more familiar term which explains bakelite is plastic. It is the world's first synthetic plastic. This combination of colors closely resemble the popular drink Pepsi, and thus it is famously called Pepsi. The Rolex GMT Master was initially developed in cooperation with PanAm, who is one of the largest airline company at the time. In the 1940s and 50s, flying distances got longer, and thus pilots traveled through multiple time zones. The pilots and the flight attendants faced a new problem, the jet lag. Many studies showed that one way to fight the confusion caused by jet lag was to have an instrument that could simultaneously display the home time and the destination time. PanAm asked Rolex to develop a watch which could tell different times simultaneously. The challenge Rolex faced was to create a movement that is able to display two different time zones. The indication of the second time zone was achieved by an auxiliary hand with arrow end and red painted body that rotates in 24 hours. To read the second time zone, it was necessary to rotate the bezel on the desired hour. The first Rolex GMT Master was introduced around 1954. It is first released with reference number 6542, and the movement could indicate the exact time simultaneously in two different time zones. With a 38mm diameter, it was originally manufactured with a blue and red bakelite bezel, which is later replaced with a blue and red metal bezel. In 1959, the GMT Master with reference number 1675 is produced. Rolex modified the case diameter to a larger 40mm. With the larger diameter, it becomes easier for the wearer to read the time. Additionally, Rolex added crown guards on the case to protect the crown from getting damaged. The GMT Master 1675 was first produced with glossy gilt dial. However, in the late 1960s, the dial was changed to a matte dial. This watch is in production for 20 years, so the dial has changed many times, resulting in many different markings version of the dial. This model is also available in 18-karat gold, also super popular until today among watch collectors. In 1971, Rolex creates the GMT Master in stainless steel and yellow gold with reference number 1675. It is offered with either an oyster bracelet or with a jubilee bracelet, both in Rolecer, which means a combination of stainless steel and gold. In 1979, Rolex launches the GMT Master in stainless steel with reference number 16750. This watch comes with the quick date change feature. This updated feature helps a lot with changing the date because before we need to turn the crown for 2 full rotations to change the date. The watch is updated with 2 lock position at the crown, and now we can easily set the date. This release also added a new black color bezel to match with the black dial. For people who wanted a monochrome watch, they could opt for the black dial and black bezel GMT Master. This watch is extremely rare. Rolex also released the steel and gold model with reference number 16753 and the 18 karat gold model with reference number 16758. One quick note is this model will be the final GMT Master with acrylic crystal. Rolex introduced us to the concept of an independent hour hand for a GMT Master in 1983 with the release of a GMT Master reference number 16760. This watch allows the wearer to know the time in 3 different time zones, also known as the Fat Lady. It is powered by a different type of movement, the 3085 movement. With previous generations of the GMT Master, the 2 hour hands will link directly to each other, meaning they couldn't be set separately. This new movement allowed the center hour hand to be set independently from the arrow-tipped 24-hour hand. This watch also marks the shift of using sapphire crystal in replacement of the use of acrylic crystal. The sapphire crystal makes the GMT Master scratch resistant. The iconic Cyclops at 3 o'clock remain to magnify the date window. Completing the transition from GMT Master to GMT Master II, Rolex released 2 models in 1989, one for GMT Master and the other for GMT Master II. Both models feature a black color matte dial with the use of 18 karat white gold around the luminous hour markers. This was done to prevent tarnishing on the dial so that the dial can be preserved for as long as possible. The bezels came in 3 diversity: black, black and red, and blue and red. The 2-colored dial has been the hallmark of the GMT Master since its introduction, as they illustrate the day apart from the night. This was also the first time Rolex adopted the black and red color combination on the bidirectional bezel, and it quickly gained the nickname Coke, perfectly integrating itself with the other soft drink bezels like the Pepsi and the root beer. The final model for GMT Master bears the reference number 16700. The watch comes in stainless steel case for the bracelet, a buyer can choose to have an Oyster or a Jubilee bracelet. Offered at a lower cost alternative at that period, it looks nearly identical to the GMT Master 16710. However, it resembles the original concept of GMT Master. It comes with black bezel or the blue and red Pepsi bezel. We may encounter this watch with a Coke bezel. This bezel is obtainable from its cousin, the GMT Master II 16710, who share the same bezel. Meanwhile, the GMT Master II came out with a full collection of the different materials. Stainless steel watches with reference number 16710, also Rolex yellow gold and steel watches with reference number 16713, and the full gold watches with reference number 16718. The stainless steel watch comes with 3 different bezel colors: all black, blue and red Pepsi, or the black and red Coke. The gold and steel combination watch, reference number 16713, comes with 2 different bezel colors: black, whose dial is also black, or the gold and bronze bezel, whose dial is brown. The gold and bronze version would famously be known as the root beer. Thank you for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Please leave us a comment If you have any question, if you enjoyed today's program, hit the subscribe button for more contents just like this one.